Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life. So I've got in my hand here the LG Nexus 5X, Google's Nexus 5X, if you will. So what I want to show you this time, now that you've watched our unboxing and comparison video of this and the Nexus 6P, I wanted to focus in here on the fingerprint sensor. So Google's gone with sort of a unique approach to it and tossed it on the back side of the phone, rather than down here in a home button spot or over here in a power button spot. They've gone with the back button spot. And so I wrote an opinion piece earlier, last week, and basically said, I'm really buying into this idea of a back spot for a few reasons. Not only when you pull your phone out of a pocket or just pick it up, your finger just tends to go right there. And you can see right there, it just unlocked it. But number two, it allows you to do some different things design-wise. So with this phone in particular, you've got, two speakers. While it's not a stereo setup, you do have your earpiece speaker here and then your external speaker here. With the Nexus 6P, you actually do have stereo speakers. This phone just doesn't in particular, but it allows you to have a front speaker. It allows you to not have a giant home button down here on the bottom. It really just gives you, I would argue, more flexibility in terms of design by putting a button or a sensor back here than on the front. Now, I would also argue that a back spot is about as good as a side spot, since you tend to reach for that where your power button is as well. But with the Nexus phones, we do have a rear spot. So outside of me arguing that this is the premier spot instead of a bottom lowered home button spot, I also just want to show you how fast and accurate this seems to be with these new Nexus phones. So, I've been talking here, and every time I slide my finger on it, you can see it unlocks. I mean, I've been using this phone for, 48 hours or so, and I swear that 95 out of 100 times I put my finger on there, it seems to unlock. I mean, there seems to be almost no reader errors here, which can't be said for most of the other phones on the planet. I mean, you can see every single time. The other thing I wanted to point out, though, is how to set this up and also how quick it is. So if you've ever set up a fingerprint sensor on an iPhone or a Galaxy S6 or even some of the new Sony phones with the button over here on the side, you know how slow these things are to set up. Google's Nexus phones, fastest I have seen to date. So they're calling it Nexus Imprint. Why they're calling it Nexus Imprint instead of Nexus Fingerprint or something, I have no idea, but that's what they're calling it. So if we go into Nexus Imprint and we unlock here, so you can see I have two fingers set up. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete both of these. Basically, they're the index finger on my right hand and the index finger on my left hand. And so I'm just going to show you how quickly and easily it is to set these up. And so deleting those, it's not bothering me or giving me any sort of hesitation because it's so quick to set up. So I'm going to go add fingerprint, and look, you can see it says, let's start. Actually, let me back up for a second. So add fingerprint, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches, and I'm done. Try to do that on any other phone out there, and good luck. So here I'm going to switch to this hand now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 again. And there we go. In 12 touches, I just set up 2 fingers. And I'll show you again, they are instant. So there's that hand, and here is the other hand. I mean, every time 6 touches. And now again, all these other phones ask you to touch it, I would argue a couple of dozen times in some instances. And you can see instant. I still haven't had a reader error in the whole time I've been recording this video. So Nexus fingerprint sensors, and again, I wrote a piece on why I believe this rear spot is so good, and this is partly the reason why, but you can see they not only learn your finger faster than everybody else's, they also seem to unlock faster than any others, and they get far less reader errors, at least in my couple of days using these. So anyways, just wanted to show you guys the Nexus fingerprint sensor Nexus fingerprint scanner, because it seems to be about as good as it gets. So hopefully whoever's using fingerprint sensor technology is looking into whoever Google's using, because these are about the best implementations I have seen. So anyways, if you guys have comments, questions, or want us to check anything else out, we can certainly do that. But for now, we are Droid Life. Peace.